your host, Chris Micieli, with another episode of the podcast dedicated to your Colorado Avalanche. And today, it's pretty much going to be jersey talk. It seems like that's really the only thing going on in the NHL, but it's kind of big news. And people who are really into jerseys and kind of anything new coming out, new colors, and what we get now is these retro Adidas reverse retro uniforms for all 31 teams. So we'll be talking about that. And the Avalanche also announced some modification. Well, they didn't announce the modifications. They announced that there will be modifications to the current Avalanche getup. So we'll be talking about that. Like I said, the reverse retro, the current Avalanche jerseys, and why not rank all of the reverse retro jerseys in the Avalanche division. We'll rank them all. We know where the Avalanche are going to stand in this ranking. So why not just put the other 6 teams and lump them in and see who's right below the Avalanche and see who's at the very bottom. And I think you're probably going to agree with me on who's at the very bottom, but we will get to that later. First things first, follow the show on social media outlets. Follow on Twitter, LOPN_Avalanche. Follow on Instagram, Locked On Avalanche. And send any questions, comments, concerns, and opinions to lockedonavalanche@gmail.com. If you have a particular opinion on these new uniforms or these new jerseys for the Avalanche, let me know. Overall, I think most people are kind of in love with them. And but there are some people who aren't a fan. And I think a lot of those people, some of them are from Denver, and I think a lot of them are coming from Quebec, who are not happy that the Avalanche are using the Nordiques logo. Some people think like, hey, you are a part of our history and we should honor that history. And some people are okay with it. Some people aren't. If you're on one side or the other, let me know. LockedOnAvalanche@gmail.com. So the Avalanche also released their 25th anniversary logo. Very simple, very clean, just the numbers 2 and 5, maybe with a silver outline around it. Pretty simple. And they also announced, I want to bring up the article, that there will be some modifications to their current uniforms. They haven't said what they are, but I'll just read what this says right off their website. And it says, part of the 25th celebration will include several jersey modifications. Headlined by the Adidas reverse retro sweater that was announced Monday. The team will also be switching to new equipment colors to match the primary colors already included in the Avalanche home, away, and alternate jerseys. The home and away sweaters will now feature the primary color of blue for the shorts, gloves, and helmet, while the alternate sweater will have slight modifications to the pants and gloves. Further details of the Avalanche's 25th anniversary celebration will be announced when the 2020-2021 NHL season schedule is released. So we probably shouldn't have to wait too long for this, but 2 things stand out. One is that they said they will be switching to new equipment colors to match their primary colors included in the Avalanche home, away, and alternate. So we might get 4 jerseys for the Avalanche this year. Are they going to stay with the third jersey that they've had, which is, the triangle with the Colorado C in the middle, darker blue? Are they going to stay with that? Or are they going to do something different? Put that one aside. The other 2, like their primary sweaters, their home and away. There's been mock-ups and some really talented people out on the interwebs, on, Twitter and Instagram, have been posting kind of mock-ups on what, based on this information, those uniforms could look like. They're sharp. If you remember, like the Avalanche would wear black pants no matter what. And now it seems like they are going to wear blue. And when you look at that, even though it's computer generated and it's a graphic, but they can make them look really real. People are very talented out there. And man, the flow from that blue home jersey to blue pants, and we pretty much know that they're going to have blue gloves, thanks to, the Nathan McKinnon post on Instagram, and then the pants, thanks to the Mikko Rantanen post, that it's just going to be a sea of blue. And I think it's just going to look great. Now, where it's going to look really good is on the white jersey, on the away jerseys. I don't think a lot of people are fans of like the white jerseys on any team, really. I think people just like the dark colored jerseys. But when you put the blue pants with the white jersey and the blue gloves and a blue helmet, it just makes the white look better immediately. If you haven't seen that, I'll put it up on my Twitter page. I think I have already. I'll go back and look. If I haven't, I'll put it up there. I'll put it up on Instagram. And it just pops so much better. And the white just doesn't look plain. You know what I mean? So I don't know what these modifications are going to be to those jerseys. Could be they just get rid of, what they had, the logo in the middle, and then there was that line at the bottom. It was kind of like a wavy line, or jagged line, I should say. And then the color was below that. They might get rid of that and just make it one solid color all down the front. Maybe that's the modification they do. I don't know. But either way, I think I had a coach growing up when I played Little League Baseball, and his mantra was, you look good, you play good. And I've never forgotten that. And we had, like, when we were 12 years old, and we got uniforms for like the All-Star tournament, and they were pinstriped. And I'm telling you, when you're 12 years old and you wear pinstripes for the first time, you feel like you're playing for the New York Yankees. And he goes, you look good, you play good. And we went very far in the state tournament. So I don't know if that's how much of that is true, but for me, I think you do. I think you have some pride in when you go out there, knowing that I look pretty damn good right now. I'm going to play good. Who knows how much of it is true, but that has stuck with me through the years. So I kind of tend to agree with that. Either way, the way that the Avalanche are going to look is going to be a little bit different across the board, from the team that they have, from the trades that they made, from the players on the ice, to the uniforms that they're wearing. And I'm a uniform guy. I love especially hockey. There's nothing better than a hockey sweater. So I like when teams kind of change colors a little bit here and there. I don't like the big drastic changes, but what the Avalanche are doing, I really, really like. So we probably don't have to wait long. Like they said, they're going to announce this when the season schedule comes out. Have to wait to see what the season schedule exactly is, and when that will come out and what the season looks like. But probably within the next month or so. It'd have to be, I would think, within the next month if they want to do a January 1 start time. So what do you think? Are you happy about these? Are you upset because now this is going to cost you even more money buying another Avalanche looking uniform? I know a lot of people are already putting up money for these reverse retros. So we are going to get into those here in a second. But before we do, we are going to talk about Built Go. And we have talked about Built Bar and all the products that Built Bar has. One of their best ones is Built Go. And a lot of people like these energy drinks and these quick pick-me-ups halfway through the day when you kind of run into a metaphorical wall when the morning coffee has worn off. I am no different. And trust me, Built Go gets you through that second part of your day. It's a very easy to take 1.5 ounce package. You can put it anywhere, in your car, in your pocket, in your jacket, in your briefcase, in your desk. Can fit anywhere. So whenever you need a quick pick-me-up, grab that pouch. It's a very easy to take 1.5 ounce gel, and it is the best pre-workout gel on the market. It's 5-hour energy without that same crash feeling. Plus, it is natural, so it is better for your body. It's like drinking a Monster drink with a third of the caffeine and with better results. It comes in 3 delicious flavors: peanut butter honey, chocolate coconut, and chocolate mint. So go to builtgo.com, use the promo code LOCKED, and you get 20% off of your next order. Once again, that promo code is LOCKED, and you get 20% off of your first order at builtgo.com. So the big news was the reverse retros, and we had seen bits and pieces. We saw the first Adidas video where it was just a cartoon of a guy's back and constantly changing colors and constantly changing numbers, which would coincide with the year. Then we got close-up images, which for the most part were maybe the shoulder patch, maybe the sleeve, maybe like the bands on the sleeve, and then like the Adidas tag on the collar. For the Avalanche, it was cool because you saw the fleur-de-lis for the first time, and it was burgundy. So all signs pointed to Nordique's uniform in Avalanche colors. And then Monday rolled around, and that's exactly what we got. And immediately people were, you can still do it right now, obviously, go look at rankings. People are going crazy over these things, and they're ranking them 31-1. Almost all are ranking the Avalanche as the best one. Who am I to argue that? Not at all. So, the way that it looks is just perfect. Some people were upset that it wasn't dark colored. I'm okay with that because of the way that it's going to look, and we don't have pants and gloves and helmet yet. So the number on the uniform is blue. So the majority of the jersey is white, and you have the Nordique's logo in burgundy. You have the fleur-de-lis on the shoulders and on the bottom, all in burgundy, and your number is in blue. Now, because of that, and because of what they're doing with their regular everyday uniforms, I would think that they're going to go blue with that as well, and have blue gloves, blue helmet to kind of just give it a kind of a dynamic look. Could they go burgundy? Yeah, they could. Maybe go burgundy pants and then blue gloves. That would look pretty cool too. But I don't think anybody is really not liking the look of these. If you don't like it because it's just a Quebec thing, I understand that. But I don't think you can take away from the fact that these look great. And the fact that it's been 25 years now, and the Avalanche have done literally nothing to kind of honor where they came from in Quebec. And we heard kind of at the end of the year, was it at the end of the year? No, I think it might have been like during the break, during the pause, when they said the time might be right next year to look into kind of honoring that. So the writing was on the wall of them doing something. We didn't know it was going to be league wide in kind of these reverse retro style, but sales apparently are off the charts for these uniforms. And I've heard, I don't want to say conflicting reports, but I've heard some reports saying that some players and sizes are sold out. Not that they won't. I mean, they'll restock these pretty quickly. I think they are anticipating that these would be a hot commodity, and they can make these quicker than they can make a PS5. So I think the players that you could get: Cale Makar, Mikko Rantanen, Gabe Landeskog, Nathan McKinnon, and Philip Grubauer. Interesting, but good for Grubauer. Or you could get you could make your own or make a custom one. It would take a little bit longer to get. And it's interesting to see what people do with that. Would people go get a Sakic one, a Wah one, Forsberg? I don't know. I think down the road, those would become more readily available. But $225 for a jersey, and people are putting up for it. You know that they are putting up money for this thing. So I think they look fantastic. I think they having the Avalanche colors, I think, really makes these things pop. They could have just went with your regular old, Quebec Nordiques uniform, which probably still would be ranked number one because those uniforms are awesome. But I think the Avalanche looked at, no, let's combine our past with our present and even our future and mash these two things up. And I think that was the best way to do it. I mean, imagine if they went the other way around with like Nordique's colors on Avalanche uniform. Could have been cool too. Maybe that's the third jersey we'll get this year. That would be interesting. So overall, I think an absolute home run with how these things look. I am going with a Nathan McKinnon. I just feel like having the C or the A on the uniform is a must for these anyway. And then probably down the road, I'm sure I will get more, but got to pump the brakes a little bit and one at a time. But I think standing ovation for the Colorado Avalanche and what they accomplished with these reverse retros. I think they're absolutely fantastic. So why don't we take a quick pause and look at all of the Central Division and rank them and see if you agree with me or disagree with me. So let's do that here in a second. All right. So you got the Avalanche, the Jets, the Predators, Blues, Wild, Blackhawks, and Stars. Now that division might be changing for this year because of this season might be different, obviously. And but for now, this is our division. It's always going to be our division. And maybe just for one season, we'll have to change that up. But we're going to rank the Central Division as we know it. And I think for me, number 7, and this is not because, we are not Minnesota Wild fans. It's tough to pull off green and yellow or green and gold. And I know they're going for the North Stars look. And they do have a little bit of star in and I don't know if that's normally there. I never really brought my attention to it. There's a little bit of a star in the wolf or whatever that is, the Wild's eye. Is that normal? I don't know. I'd have to go back and look, but it's tough to pull off green and gold when you give those two colors equal amounts of attention. Like the way the North Stars did it was mostly green and like accents of yellow or gold. That's how you do it. But they gave it equal billing here, and it just looks. I put on Twitter, it looks like a Subway cup. It looks like something you would go get at Subway. I don't really like and if the Wild had a good one, I would give them all the credit in the world, but I don't think I will give them credit for going back to the North Stars look. But other than that, it's just plain ugly. So I think the Wild are number 7. I think the Predators are number 6. Didn't really do much other than, their logo with their colors. Didn't change it up a whole heck of a lot. Not impressed with the Predators. I think they could have maybe done a little bit more with theirs. So they're number 6. Number 5, I will put the Dallas Stars. I kind of like the Stars one. I like that there's a mostly white, and it's that style where the star kind of like takes up is like kind of the outline of the entire jersey. They released the full uniform, and they will be wearing white pants, white gloves, white helmet. This is a whiteout. So that's maybe a little bit too much white. I think they went over the top with the white, but just from the jersey standpoint, it's not bad. It's not bad. So we put that at 5. 4, I've been going back and forth between 3 and 4. So these are very, very close for me. And I think I'm going to have to put St. Louis at 4. I kind of like what St. Louis did. I think they went bold with the colors. I like the split in half with the blue and the red. I think it's just a solid. They really kind of took this idea and ran with it. So I kind of like how the red in that color is just that blood red color mixed with the blue and the yellow mixed in there. I think it's a good color scheme, and I like it. I do. I think they did well. And that's right. They're right on the cusp with the Blackhawks. Blackhawks went with the black, majority black, red on the shoulders, coming down the sleeves. That's one that I saw the front. They were the one team that didn't show the logo. I don't know why, but I've seen one lately. I don't know if that was official that I've seen. But I think it's just classic Blackhawks. They went back to like the 1940 era, which was the earliest any team has gone back to. So because of those aspects, and I think it just looks like a very just solid. That's a Blackhawks jersey. So I think they did a great job. 2 is Winnipeg. I really, really like the Winnipeg gray, that sky blue with the white, blue on the front of the sleeve going down, gray kind of underneath the sleeve going down. The way that it kind of just flows, I think the Jets, next to the Avalanche, did one of the better jobs, really taking this idea and molding it into a really, really solid looking jersey. I'm really interested to see what the rest of this is. I think if they do kind of like the blue color in there, the darker blue, because there's a lighter sky blue and then like a navy blue. If they do like a navy blue pant, maybe with like gray gloves and then maybe a white helmet, I think the Jets are going to be looking sharp. And then, of course, Avalanche number one. I don't want you to think I'm a homer here. You maybe do, maybe don't. If the Avalanche came out with something that was crap, I would have no problem saying it and putting them where they deserve to be. But they knocked it out of the park with this. I think everybody loves that Nordiques logo. It's a classic logo. And, you know, even though the Avalanche have not done anything to honor the Nordiques over the past 25 years, you still see Nordique uniforms all the time around Avalanche circles at games. They're although Quebec is still bitter, which I completely understand, the Avalanche accepted the Nordiques into Colorado and continued the Nordique tradition with their uniforms. So it's never been lost on Colorado fans where that this team came from. And I think Joe Sakic, being in the position that he's in, clearly knows that. And he felt, you know, he's connected to the community and the fans, and he knows that the Nordiques mean a lot to the Colorado Avalanche fans. So I think it was a no-brainer to go back to Quebec with these uniforms, and they're perfect. In my opinion, they're absolutely perfect. So, and I'm just upset that we're only going to get one season out of them. Maybe they'll do something down the road. Maybe this will be such a hit. This will become maybe the new third jersey for them. But absolute home run. So Minnesota, Nashville, Dallas, St. Louis, Blackhawks, Winnipeg, Colorado Avalanche. Do you have a different 7? Let me know. And if the Avalanche are not number 1, it's okay. Let me know where they are. Let me know. LockedOnAvalanche@gmail.com. That's going to be it for today. Catch me on the national show, Locked On NHL, today with Mr. Adam Denker from the Locked On Lightning show. We will definitely be talking about these retro uniforms across the league. We'll be doing that on today's show. So check that out. And we'll be back on Friday with another show to wrap up the week, see what news is going on with the Avalanche, if anything. So thanks for tuning in. If it's the first time, I appreciate it. If it is the 206th time, I appreciate that as well. And we will see you on Friday. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Have a good day.